Despite coming up short in the Final Four game, Cooper Flagg still had a legendary season at Duke. From his electric debut to his Final Four heartbreak, this is a story of Cooper Flagg's freshman season at Duke and why it's only the beginning. The #1 player in the country, Cooper Flagg had every major college program fighting for his commitment. Kentucky, UConn, and even the new powerhouse, Houston. Everyone wanted the 6'9" phenom, but in the end, Flagg made one choice: the Duke Blue Devils. Duke has been the dream destination for elite wings and forwards for decades. Grant Hill, Shane Battier, Jason Tatum, Zion Williams, and the list goes on. These players didn't just go to the NBA, they thrived there. And for someone like Flagg, who has been compared to Larry Bird and Jason Tatum, playing at Duke meant joining a lineage of versatile elite forwards who dominated at the next level. Another major factor, Jon Scheyer. Ever since taking over for Coach K, Scheyer has made it clear that Duke isn't slowing down and has proven he can land top talent and develop them into NBA-ready players. Flagg built a strong connection with Scheyer and his coaching staff, trusting their vision for his development and a real shot for being the consensus #1 overall pick in the NBA. And for Cooper Flagg, committing to Duke and being one of the most hyped recruits in recent memory, his transition to college basketball hasn't been without its challenges. And despite his exceptional talent, Flagg had to adjust to the faster pace, stronger competition, and intense expectations that come with playing at the next level. In high school, Flagg was a force of nature. His size, skill, and athleticism made him nearly unstoppable, but stepping onto the college court is a completely different beast. Suddenly, every opponent is bigger, stronger, and just as hungry to prove themselves. And one of the biggest hurdles, physicality. College basketball demands more strength, endurance, and physical toughness than high school ever did. Flagg spent majority of the offseason hitting the weight room, working to add muscle to withstand the grind of the season. And then there's also the mental aspect. Being a top recruit means carrying the weight of expectations. Every game, every play, every decision is scrutinized. But Flagg embraced the challenge, showing resilience, adaptability, while he found his place in the Duke system. And before we continue with Cooper Flagg's debut game, I'm currently at 925 subscribers and have a goal to reach 1,000 by the end of April. So if you could take a second to hit that subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. Now back to the video. On November 4th, the wait was over. Cooper Flagg had officially made his college basketball debut and the hype was real. Fans packed the arena, expectations were sky high, and all eyes were on the young phenom as he took to court for the first time in a Blue Devils uniform. And right from the jump, Flagg showed why he's special. Whether it was his defensive presence, high basketball IQ, or energy at both ends, he made an impact almost immediately. And then came the moment everyone was waiting for, his first official bucket in a Duke uniform. And when he did, the crowd went wild. Flagg finished his debut game with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. It was a monster defensively, coming up with 3 steals while the Duke Blue Devils crushed Maine with a final score of 96-62. And the best part, Cooper Flagg was just beginning. And for the next few games after that, Cooper Flagg took some time to adjust to the college level, but then had a very strong performance on January 4th of 2025 versus MSU. In that game, Flagg reminded everyone why he's one of the most exciting players in college basketball. From his scoring dominance to defensive presence, Flagg brought it all to this game. Right from the start, Flagg made his presence felt, whether it was ability to attack the rim, his smooth mid-range jumper, or defensive intensity. He controlled the game on both ends. Flagg wasn't just putting up numbers, he was making winning plays. His court vision, rebounding, and hustle showed just how complete his game is. And defensively, he was everywhere, shutting down passing lanes and protecting the rim. Flagg finished the game with 24 points, 11 rebounds, and a few assists, leading Duke to an 89-62 win. Not only was he dominant, but he did it efficiently, proving once again that he's more just a hype, he's the real deal. And just a few days later, on January 12th, Duke faced off against Notre Dame in a thrilling ACC matchup. And from the opening tip, Flagg was unstoppable. He dominated the court, showcasing his scoring prowess and versatility. Flagg was on fire from behind the arc, hitting 4 of his 6 3-point attempts, and he was also nearly perfect from the free throw line, sinking 16 of 17 shots. Flagg scored a historic 42 points and propelled Duke to an 86-78 victory over Notre Dame. And beyond scoring, Flagg contributed 6 rebounds and matched his career-high 7 assists, joining Duke legend Danny Ferry as the only player in school history to record 40 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists in a game. This performance not only set a new benchmark for a Duke freshman, but it also solidified Flagg's status as a rising star in college basketball. But Flagg wasn't done yet. A special night in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, the number 3 ranked Duke Blue Devils face off against the Boston College Eagles. All eyes were on the freshman phenom Cooper Flagg, returning to New England to showcase his talents. However, the Eagles came out strong, but Duke remained composed and ready to respond. And after a slow start from Flagg, missing 4 of his first 5 shots, he found his rhythm, igniting the Blue Devils offense. And Flagg's versatility was on full display. He attacked the rim with authority, showcased a sweet mid-range game, and brought the crowd to his feet with a thunderous dunk. But it wasn't just the offense. Flagg contributed on both ends, recording steals and blocks to energize his team. Then at halftime, Duke held a 6-point lead, and with Flagg and his teammate Tyrese Proctor combining for 23 out of the team's first 33 points. Flagg continued to shine, finished the game with 28 points on 9 of 14 shooting, 5 rebounds and 4 assists, and his performance was instrumental in Duke's commanding 88-63 victory. And moving on from the Boston College game, on February 17th, which is a pivotal ACC matchup versus Virginia, Cooper Flagg once again demonstrated why he's one of the college basketball's brightest stars. And Flagg's presence on the boards was dominant, securing a career-high 14 rebounds. And on offense, Flagg was efficient and assertive, tallying 17 points on 8 of 16 shooting, and the ability to score from various spots on the court kept Virginia's defense on their heels. And beyond scoring and rebounding, Flagg showcases all-around defense by also contributing 2 blocks and 2 steals, which truly showcases all-around game. Duke's balanced attack led them to an 80-62 victory, marking their 12th consecutive win and solidifying their standings atop of the ACC. And as the Blue Devils continued their quest for ACC dominance, performances like these from their freshman phenom signals a promising road ahead. And to round out the regular season on March 4th was a night to remember for Duke, as they hosted Wake Forest in their final home game, with freshman sensation Cooper Flagg delivering a performance for the ages. And Flagg wasted no time making his presence felt, showcasing his versatility by orchestrating the offense, attacking the rim, and finding open teammates. Whether it was pulling up for a smooth mid-range jumper, sinking shots from behind the arc, or throwing down thunderous dunks, Flagg had his full versatility on display. But Flagg's impact wasn't limited to the offensive end. He was a force defensively, recording 3 blocks and 2 steals while also pulling down 8 rebounds. And when the final buzzer sounded, with Duke securing a commanding 93-60 victory, and Flagg finished with outstanding stat sheet, scoring 28 points while also dishing out 7 assists to finish out Duke's college basketball had to offer. In the first round, Duke took the court against Mount St. Mary's in the opening round, and all eyes were on freshman phenom Cooper Flagg. And Flagg wasted no time introducing himself into the tournament. From the opening tip, he dictated the pace, facilitated the offense, attacked the basket, and showcased his signature two-way dominance. Whether it was threading a perfect alley-oop, finishing a tough and one at the rim, or rejecting a shot at the glass, Flagg had the full arsenal on display. But his presence wasn't just felt on offense. On the defensive end, he anchored Duke's interior, swatting shots and disrupting passing lanes, helping hold Mount St. Mary to just 31% shooting from the field. And the final buzzer sounded, with Duke securing a commanding 93-49 victory, sending a message to the rest of the tournament. Cooper Flagg finished his first ever March Madness appearance with 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks in just 22 minutes, which was an efficient and impactful performance as Duke advanced to the next round. And entering the second round, Duke faced off against number 9 seed Baylor. Flagg made an immediate impact, demonstrating his versatility by facilitating the offense, attacking the rim, and setting up teammates. Flagg's full skill set was on display. And defensively, Flagg was just as impactful, securing 9 rebounds and contributing to Duke's dominance on the boards. And Cooper Flagg finished that game with an impressive stat line of 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, further solidifying his role as a pivotal contributor, leading Duke to an 89-66 victory. And entering the Sweet 16 versus Arizona, the heart of the Duke's electrifying performance was freshman sensation Cooper Flagg delivering a game for the ages. And by the final buzzer of that game, Cooper Flagg had an amazing stat line: 30 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks, leading Duke to a 193 victory. And even Duke head coach John Shire said this after the game: "That was one of the best tournament performances I've ever been a part of." And with this standout performance, Cooper Flagg not only propelled Duke into the Elite 8, but also etched his name in March Madness history. And moving on to the Elite 8 brought Duke the next challenge: Alabama. And from the start, Duke asserted dominance. And Cooper Flagg, despite facing some shooting challenges, showcased his versatility and determination. And defensively, Duke was incredible, holding Alabama to just 35% shooting from the field and 25% from behind the arc. And this defensive effort shook the nation's top-ranked offense. And the synergy of Duke's offense and defense accumulated in a commanding victory of 85-65, propelling them to the 18th Final Four appearance. And Flagg's stat line was also impressive: 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. And in the biggest game of his young career, Cooper Flagg walked into the Final Four with the weight of the basketball world on his shoulders. Against a battle-tested Houston squad known for his grit, defense, and toughness, Flagg showed the world why he might just be the #1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. Houston came in as one of the most physical and disciplined teams in the country, and their calling card: pressure defense, relentless rebounding, and making you uncomfortable for 40 straight minutes. And Duke, a 6'9" freshman from Maine with a motor that doesn't stop in a game wise beyond its years. But what really stood out was the defense. He switched on to guards, protected the rim, and rotated like a seasonal NBA vet. However, a pivotal moment came when a questionable foul call on Flagg in the final seconds, leading to free throws that shifted the game momentum into Houston's favor. Then with the game on the line, Flagg pulled up from mid-range and missed. And just like that, Duke's season was over. And while the outcome wasn't in Duke's favor, Flagg's performance further solidified his reputation as a top prospect for the upcoming NBA draft, and his poise under pressure and all-around game have scouts and fans excited for his future. So what's next for Cooper Flagg? Does he declare for the NBA draft and become the #1 overall pick? Or does he continue his legacy at Duke trying to chase a national championship?